Yes, guys, and welcome back to the Big Three. The season is just around the corner, and man, I cannot wait for it. I'm getting in that feeling now where I just want football back. I love this football club, and I want to see them play. I want to see them do well. But with it only being 9-10 days until the season kicks off, I think there's only one thing to do, isn't there? And that's get the fantasy teams going. Yes, I'm going to be going through my Sky fantasy team today. I made it today, 9 days until the season, so I thought it's about time to make it. Obviously, there might be one or two changes, depending on if anyone gets injured or a big transfer comes in. But yeah, let's get into it. So starting first, and it is the Manchester United man, David De Gea is in between the sticks. Now, do I even have to say anything about this man? He'll pick me up points all season long. Yes, we won't get the most clean sheets in the season, but I feel like he can get you a lot of penalty saves. Recently, he has been saving them. I know he did have a poor record, but recently he's improved. Clean sheets will be decent. Obviously, not as good as the rest. The top 4 or 5 teams in the league might have better, but it'll be up there. And I feel like he'll have man of the match performances, which gets you more points as well. Last season, he actually did rock up 178 points total, which is a very, very, very high number. So he's reliable in the sticks. And for my first player in this team, I have to back my man David De Gea of Manchester United. Coming in at the right-hand side of the 3 at the back I'm playing 3-4-3. I've gone with Kurt Zouma. Now, this one was... I know he's a good player, and I know he saves me money on the game. So, I've gone with the in-between here. Like, obviously, there is better than Kurt Zouma, but he plays for a top 8 club in the Premier League. They'll get a few decent clean sheets. He does score a lot of headed goals as well. My only issue with him is that can he stay fit? Obviously, if he don't, he'll be transferred out. But for me, Kurt Zouma, he's one of them, innit? Like, he's a big power ass and he can get you points at both sides of the pitch. Last season, he rocked up a total of 76 points. Of course, that's not bad to say how many injuries he actually did have. So, in the right-hand side of the 3 at the back, I've gone for the big beast, Kurt Zouma of West Ham. Now then, on the left side of this, I've gone for a cheap option because I want who I want up front and things like that. But I actually think he's going to have a good season. Jed Spence has just left Nottingham Forest. And I'm putting Nico Williams, who Forest have replaced Spence with, in my fantasy team. 17 million quid. I think he'll play 30 to 35 of their Premier League games. Yes, they won't get many clean sheets in this league, but he can get a few assists here and there. I've seen him on the ball. He's not a great player. Obviously, that's why he's gone to Forest from Liverpool, but he's good enough to get in this team for me. And for the cheap price that I got him for, I think he's worth a shot. He got 4 points last season on fantasy football, but obviously we all know he was playing for Liverpool Football Club. And then I think he got loaned out as well. But yeah, Nico Williams, Kurt Zouma, David De Gea so far. Now then, it is the main highlight of the defence in the middle. He's very expensive on the game. I think he actually is the most expensive. Maybe Cancelo might be more expensive, but apart from Cancelo, Trent Alexander-Arnold is the most expensive on the game, and that's who I've gone with. He guarantees you 10 assists and about 15 clean sheets per season. That's already guaranteed. So for the price I got him at, yes, it's high, but is it worth it if he stays fit all season? Of course it is. 10.8 million on the game. He got 234 points last season. Just outstanding for a fullback. For me, he's the best fullback on the planet. And he was... I didn't even have to think twice about it. Even though the price was high, I didn't even think. I didn't think Robertson, I didn't think Cancelo, I didn't think anyone else. I thought, I don't care how much I have to pay. Trent is going in this team and he's right at the heart of it. And I expect many, many points off Trent on fantasy football. Now then, starting off in that 4 in midfield, He's a bit like Zuma, this man. He's not the best, but he's not the worst. I've gone for Arsenal's Martin Odegaard. He's one of them players who picks up the odd assist here and there, the odd goal here and there. He mainly likes to control the game and pass around a lot, but I feel like he can chip, for the price he was, I feel like he can chip in with a couple of points throughout the season. I believe he was around 8 million. So it's not the worst, especially for a guy who plays week in, week out for Arsenal. I think it's another player that will play 30 games. He got 148 points last season, which is, it's good. Could have been more, but it is good, very good. And for 8 million, I think it's a steal. I do think he's got in over Emil Smith-Rowe. I don't think Emil Smith-Rowe is going to get the game time he likes this season. So on the left-hand side for me is Martin Odegaard to pick up the odd points here and there. Now then, coming back to the heart of Manchester, I think this guy is absolutely destined to have a world-class season with Erik ten Hag this year. I've gone with Jadon Sancho. He got 84 points last season on Fantasy Football, which is not bad to say that the team didn't even want to be together. He got the odd goal, the odd assist here, but I think it's time for Sancho to have a big season. This just seems like a perfect fit. Ten Hag and Sancho, they just seem like they go hand in hand, and I'm absolutely loving how he's playing on the pre-season tour. I think he's done really, really well, Sancho and Martial. Sancho and Martial have done really well on the pre-season tour. But yeah, he was about 8.8 million, which is not too expensive for the quality of Sancho. And I think if he starts off well, Fantasy Football will soon be putting his price up. So that's my little dark horse for this. Get Sancho in your team. I think he's going to rip the league apart this season. Yeah, he's a technical footballer. He's got assists coming out of his arse, this guy. Just get him in your team. Sancho, big season. Now then, the big transfer from Man City to Chelsea. Around about 10 million on the game, I believe. It's Raheem Sterling. Now, I've actually been on record on this channel to say that I don't actually rate him that much. But I think for the price, when you're looking at some of them like Salah and people out who are like 11.8 million and stuff, 10 million on the dot for Sterling, I had to get him in. I think Chelsea's front three is absolutely piss poor. So I believe Sterling will play, again, 30 to 35 games of the season if he stays fit. He's another one who's a guarantee to get goals. Even though I don't like how he plays, I'd say too much. But he's another one who's got the record. He's been there and done it. He will get goals. He will get assists. And he might even start taking more penalties and things like that. Now he's like the main guy up top at the minute. Obviously, that depends on what Chelsea does. But in that midfield, alongside Odegaard and Sancho, Raheem Sterling. We had Trent at the back as the main highlight, but this guy's the main highlight of the whole Premier League. It's Man City's KDB, Kevin De Bruyne. Now, he's the most expensive midfielder on the whole game, and I can see why. He's one of the best players I've ever seen growing up, especially for deliveries and the way he whips the ball and stuff. He's just unbelievable. He's another one who's a bit of a concern for injuries, so I will be keeping an eye on that. But whenever he's fit, if you don't have this man in your team, you regret it every single week, because he pops up with goals, pops up with assists, pops up with man of the match performances. He is like the king of that Man City team, who are the best team at the minute. So for me, De Bruyne is the best player in the Premier League, and I didn't care about the price, a bit like Trent. I did not care about the price. You have to get De Bruyne in your team, and if that means pulling other players down a peg or two in your team to get him in, you have to do it, I'm afraid. This is my pick to get me the most points throughout the season if he stays fit. Kevin De Bruyne. Now then, we move up to the front three, and I can't have a front three without one of my boys. It's Anthony Martial for 8 million. 8 million. You look how he's playing on the tour. I couldn't resist. I do have a feeling he will be pushed out for Ronaldo at some point, which is really sad, to be honest with you, but that's just how I feel. I will be keeping an eye on it, because if he starts getting benched, obviously I will have to move him out the team. But I've looked at him on this tour. I've always liked Martial, always believed in him. I believe he's got the technical ability. He holds up the ball. He gets goals. He got 23 goals in one season when he was playing week in, week out. So I do believe in him. And I really, really want Martial to prove the doubters wrong this season. I really do. So he's in my team, but it's a bit of a dodgy one for me. I will be keeping an eye on it. Martial, first one up top. Now then, another transfer that's coming into my team. It's another guy that's left Man City. I think it was around about 9 to 9.5 million. It's Gabriel Jesus of Arsenal. Now, I'm hearing a certain Owen thinking he's going to get 20 goals in the Premier League. He will not get 20 goals. I will literally bet my life on it. But I do believe he can hit the 13 to 16 mark. And that's why he's in my team. Not the most expensive, not the cheapest. Just perfect for me, really. When you see the next guy I've got, I needed to have someone a bit lower down, but still got that quality. I think Jesus could be a revelation at Arsenal if it goes well. They've had Aubameyang and Lacazette for too long. It got stale. It got boring. They wasn't performing at the highest level anymore. It's time for that new big striker to arrive at Arsenal. And if Jesus plays his cards right, he could be getting me a lot of points this season. Jesus is in. And then the main attraction, obviously we've had Trent and De Bruyne as the main attraction of the other two. But up front, I'm sorry, but you can't look anywhere else this season. He's going to absolutely destroy this league. It's Harry Kane. He's now got Richarlison, Kulusevski, Son around him. I'm sorry, but this man, if his head's on it from day dot, Conte getting into his head, I think he could hit 25 goals in the league this season. Harry Kane, I think, yes, he was the most expensive striker, and I had to accommodate to get him in again. You always want that one star in each position on fantasy football, and for me, Harry Kane could do some serious damage to this league this season. I do think Spurs will finish third, and I think they'll be a lot closer to Liverpool and City than people think. It won't be 20 points, I'll tell you that now. But yeah, Conte is the big difference as well. I think he's in Kane's ear, and I think Kane believes in Tottenham again. I think Kane ends with minimum, and this is a bad season for Kane, 18 in the league this season. Kane is in the team. So there's my team then, guys. I spent the full 100 million on Sky Fantasy Football. It's to the left of me right here. And I think it's a good team. What do you guys think? I think I've done well to get a star in each position, each section. That's what I was aiming for anyway. I really wanted Trent, I really wanted De Bruyne, I really wanted Kane, and I got him in. So I'm happy with the team. I'm going to go into the season with this team, obviously, unless there's injuries. So yeah, let me know what you think of the team. The big three's back. Obviously, we've been away for a couple of days, getting things ready for the season and things and stuff like that. We're going to be giving you content after content after content. We love football. We love our clubs, and it's about to get a lot more passionate than a couple of transfers, let me tell you that. Especially Man U v Liverpool, August 22nd. Me versus Maka. Be there. Catch you later.